Hello guys, this is the VC Trader for another market review, and today is February 23rd, 2021, and it seems to me the US market is pulling back. And of course, we know that, okay, this area here is a second entry trying to go back down, and it did try to go back down. So we're still waiting for the US market to break an all-time high. So they're really having a pullback right now. But on our markets, guys, we are even having a bigger issue. And if we take a look at this and we change this to our markets, take a look at that, guys. That is not so good. We have been pulling back since this day here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we haven't even break any highs yet. And of course, today we did try to go back up, but we did not break this particular high. So overall, the US our markets is not so good. All right, but if we create but the good thing is we haven't touched 6013 area there, which is good, because if we do touch that area, that is something else, guys. And if we do a Fibonacci from this low to this current swing, we just have some buyers at 6,744, which is good, right? So let's take a look at it on the 5-minute candle. Let's take a look at it. All right, and it is the same answer there, from this area to this high. And imagine this: bear, bull, bear, bull, bear. Now, although we are trying to have a bull micro here, hoping that we can break this particular level of 6,916 area. If we break this, our next level of resistance is this level. So we have 3 resistance level here. So 1, 2, 3. Hoping that we can break those. Because if we can't break those, we know we are going back down to 6,625. Alright. So let's take a look at our next market. And our next market, guys, is AC Energy. And AC Energy, guys, remember, we have left you guys here. We haven't broken 825 yet, right? Although these couple of days when I told you that, okay, it's trying to go up, but it did not break 825. So what happens if it tries to break out and can't break? It's going to go back down. And it's breaking down on the lower area, which is... Alright, so basically 1 second entry. That is not so good for this particular market. Now let's take a look at it on the 5-minute candle area here. And AC Energy is... take a look at that, guys. So we know we had a bear, bull... No, we had a bear, bull, bear, bull trying to go here. We could not. So when I left you guys here on the 18th, we were around this particular area, and I told you it had a bigger chance of going up. Yes, it did go up, but it could not break out. And what happens on Friday, if it can't break out, it goes back to the other way, and it formed a bear micro. And it continued on the 22nd and continued on the 23rd, and now we are here. We are at this particular level. Actually, this is the 78.6, or just below 7 pesos. No, just above 7 pesos. So basically, guys, we should not be breaking here. If we break here, then we are more geared to the downside because we did not break high. All right. That is for this particular market. And then let's take a look at Ali here. The next market is Ali. And of course, this is it. We are breaking down. So second entry. Now we did not have any long entries yet, and we are breaking lows. Again, another. This is really tough, guys. Our market right now is really, I'm not so sure, but it is going down. And of course, this is the last time I left you guys was on the 18th, right? And then on the 19th, it did try to go up, but could not reach this particular area. And what happened? It bring down. And then on the same day, it tried to go up again, broke a little bit, and then we stopped there. And then on the next day, instead of continuation here to reach this particular area, it did go the other way, which means that it goes back to this particular area, 38.20. So now this used to be a support, and it still is a support. So let's hope that this does not break, because if this breaks, guys, the next level of support is 36.81. All right, that is for this market, Ayala Land. And let's take a look at our favorite stock, which is BDO. And BDO, guys, we have already reached our second entry long here, and we haven't broken this high. Instead, we're going back the other way. So that is not so good, guys. And then for me, I feel BDO looks like a very big range. Now, the only thing that's good about BDO is that we're still in the middle, in between 99 and 113. But for me, I find this is getting not to be good, because we're not breaking highs now. We are breaking lows. So if we take a look at BDO, guys, and then, so first of all, we had a very strong bear micro. We did have a bull micro, right? And we did have a bear. And then we did try on the 18th, we did try to have a bull micro. And then on the 19th, we did try to go up again, but we could not break 109. So what happens on the 22nd, instead of breaking, and there was this imaginary trend line going here, it just touched that particular area. Instead of breaking out, it followed go down, right? And then it break this level here of 105, and we even reached 104. So critical level right now, it has to be on the 100. Now if we follow this particular channel going down, then we know that tomorrow we could have a continuation to this bear micro. But if we have some changes here, we need to go at least above 108 and 109 to have something different, right? But if not, then this does not seem to be a very good day for us. And the next particular stock is Converge. And I was right, Converge was more heavier going to the downside. And ever since this big day we have here that reaches 21.19, it never broke any high. Maybe this area here, but only a few, but it breaks the lows more than the highs, really. So basically, Converge is having some issues here, which is quite different, guys, from Dito. Dito, on the other hand, it's going the other way. Take a look at this. Bear, bull, bear, bull, but we cannot go back to 19, and we had a bear. So although I was telling you guys we need to stay away from 1751, and it did broke there. I hope we can still stay above there. If not, then you know we're going to 1705. And that is not so good. But what is different is that what I like about DITO is that, take a look at that. DITO just made another all-time high today. Although it ended up a little bit lower, but at least it's breaking this area here, not this area, which is good, right? If we look back here, it did break the downside, right? Now, this could be meaning that it could be trying to retest its support using this particular moving average, but let's wait and see. All right. So DITO, if you compare DITO and Converge, DITO is better. Now, let's take a look at the 5 minutes for DITO. And if we take a look at that, we had now this particular area since the 19, we had a bull micro until actually just today. Then we had a bear micro. Now we are still in this in between 19 and 17. Now one of them has to go, one of them has to be retested. Now I hope that tomorrow this would continue to the upside, but if not, then definitely this will try to retest 17. And the next particular stock is FGEN. Now FGEN, guys, we are still stuck in this particular area, so we don't really need to do anything here. We are just stuck. All right, so let's move on to the next. Now Hlcm, on the other hand, guys, this was a second entry going up, and I was excited to go back to retest 687. Unfortunately, these past few days until when I left you guys, it went the other way, so it could not break out of this particular area. So what happens, it will have to retest the other side. And that's what happens to markets, guys. If they can't go the other way, then they would move to the other way. All right, and that's how I feel. That's how the market is. So let's take a look at Hlcm. And Hlcm, guys, really, but still, we are still stuck in a very ranging market, right? Now, I was about excited on the 18th last week, right? I was thinking that this particular stock will be moving to the upside if it does not change. But the next day, it did change to a bear micro. It did not really actually change to a bear micro, but it could not retest back to 650. So what happens this past few days, it did try and break down. That is really bad. But if you really ask me which is better, Hlcm or JFC, I would rather say Hlcm is a little better. Now for Jollibee here, it's breaking down the other side here. Although we found some buyers here, but we don't want to go back to 175 anytime soon, guys. If we do, then that means that there's no more arrow here, but there's the other side of the arrow here. It will be like this. So that's not so great here for JFC here. And if you can see here, ever since this tried to break out, could not even retest back high, it will try the other side. And that's how the market is. And so for me, I find this particular area, we cannot go back to 175.50 anytime soon. If we do, then we are talking going back to the downside. All right, that is for JFC. And the next particular stock is MBT. Now MBT, yes, we did reach above 52, and yesterday we did try to go back up, but we should not be going back down to even 50 or 49, guys. If we do, this could be trying to break out, but no continuation. And I'm kind of worried with MBT because I thought MBT was quite different, but the way I see it, the other two banks are not doing well. So MBT, although we are now using 50.23 as support, I hope that we can create to retest back highs, because if we cannot, guys, we could be going back down until 48. Why? To close this particular gap. Alright, which is not so great. So let's see MBT if you have some more juice. And the next particular stock is MM. Now for MM, on the other hand, guys, yes, this is an arrow up, but now we are retesting back the lows. And ever since this day, we have never retested the highs except today, but we also retested the low, which is not so great. But comparing to the other stocks that we have, MM is a little better. Take a look at that, guys. So we had today we had a continuation all the way down, and now we are breaking out, push back up. Although we have to reach this particular area. If we can't, then we're going back down. That is really it, guys. That is really it. Alright, so the next particular stock aside from MM is one of our favorite, which is Pure Gold. Now for Pure Gold, guys, let's just make our I was right. Pure Gold is not going anywhere, and yes, it's true. And it is going back down. See, I told you guys here at this particular area here that yes, Pure Gold was breaking highs, but ever since that day on the 10th, after a near Chinese New Year, it never broke the high except this one, but it's ending to the lows. And I knew it that if it's not breaking above here and continuing, it is testing back down. Now, for me, when does Pure Gold gonna end here, guys? I don't want it to go back to 25. I'm not so sure what's going on with Pure Gold, but let's do a little exercise here. Definitely, Pure Gold, we are at this particular level, 36.66. The next important level will be around 32. After that, we're talking 25, guys. And 25 did happen just last year. So almost a year, it did try to go up. But ever since there, we had a very, very long journey back down. Alright. So that is not so good for Pure Gold. And the next particular stock is what we call is SECB. Now for SECB, guys, it did touch 124, but it's ongoing trying to go back up. Although we are still good because it did not touch this particular area of 122, let's hope that SECB will bring up the whole entire financials with the help of Metro Bank. So basically, I find, yes, it did break down, but we found buyers at 124. Although we reached actually just above this particular area of 129, let's hope that this will continue to go up. The next important level will be around 133. hoping that it can break out going to the upside. If not, then you know if it can't go up, it goes down. All right. And the last particular stock that we're going to be discussing is tech. Now, tech, guys, we did have a little breakout a bit, but then we had a fall, which is not so good. And this looks like a second entry short, and we had a continuation. But still, overall, we are still in between this big level, right? So we could even go back to 630 and still considered okay, as long but it's better not to for us to retest 630, guys. All right, but if we have to, we are still, because right now we are still on the bear micro here. We haven't even changed to a bull micro. So let's hope this particular tech is gonna change to a bull micro tomorrow. If not, then you know it's going back to 630, and that's it. All right, guys, so thank you very much, guys, for staying with me here on my review. Take care and see you guys on my next review.